Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another 1/6 scale Sly Stallone Shop figure unboxing and review. Today, I'm so freaking excited. We're taking an early look at none other than Marion Cobretti, aka Cobra. Now I do have to say a huge thank you to Sly Stallone Shop, Nick Cadasco, Fabio, and of course, the main man himself, Sylvester Stallone. Sly chose my channel along with Dean Knights to showcase this figure early. Sir, it is an honor. Now, if you are looking to grab him, I have popped the link to Sly Stallone Shop in the description below. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new review goes live on the channel. As for the box art, it looks freaking awesome. Up top we have Cobra in red, so it pops on the white background. Then down below, an image of Sly Stallone as Cobra, with this kind of oil painting aesthetic. I wish this was a poster. I would absolutely hang this up on my wall, behind the figure himself. On the side of the box, once again, Cobra in red, and there's a little bit more of that image just spilling over the edge from the front cover. Whereas on the back of the box, the focus shifts back to the figure. We have an image of him in the middle, surrounded by some of his accessories. Up top, a classy, as always, Sly Stallone signature, and down below, warnings and legal info. Plus some credit to the artist who created this box art. Well done, John. I love the way this looks. I bet you thought we were done with the artwork. Nope, there is even more underneath the slipcover. Another image of Sly as Cobra, this time with a colourful backdrop. And down below, the same warnings and legal info from the slipcover. Around the front, an open window showcasing the figure inside. And my favourite feature of the box art, the quote. Not just any old quote, the most iconic quote, at least I think so. You're a disease if you flip it round on the other side, and I'm the cure. Yes, Cobra, yes you are. So it turns out, my wish came true. He comes with a mini version of the box art, like a little teeny tiny poster. So now I can display this with the figure. Around the back, the cast and crew responsible. Up top, Sylvester Stallone, Nick Cadasco, Fabio Varesi, Inigo Gil, who kills it with head sculpts, Sean Dabbs, who does amazing work with accessories, Dario Barbera for the stunning paint applications. Then, we already know this name, John Rivoli for the box art. Check out his website, because why the heck not? The box art was so very pretty. As for the figure himself, I've been really excited to get this guy in hand. There is a distinct lack of really good 1/6 scale Sylvester Stallone figures, especially from iconic movies like Cobra. And holding this guy in hand, I'm very impressed. He feels really substantial and heavy. What we are going to do now is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Starting off with the display base first, and this might just be one of my all-time favorite display bases. It's simple, classy, understated, yet badass at the same time. We've got the scales around the edges, fully painted, there's dry brushing all the way around. And smack bang in the middle, a Cobra head. Of course there is. If someone walked into your room and they saw that and said, okay, I know Sly, but I don't know that particular look for him, they then look down, see the Cobra head, and say, okay, clearly, this is Cobra. It's got the red eyes, the fangs are fully painted, and so too is all the detail around the mouth area. These pieces being flared out just looks really mean. Up top, a regular crotch grabber. I'm so sorry for not knowing the anatomy of that snake. I do live in Australia, but as far as I'm aware, we don't have cobras. Now that I'm saying that, I could very well be wrong. Correct me if I am down below. He does come with this holster piece that I think is made of genuine leather. It smells like leather and it's lined like leather, so that's what I'm going with. You can open up this section and then pop it around his submachine gun, which you'll see later. And on the inside of these little pouches, you have magazines for the submachine gun. They're all removable. For some of his smaller accessories, we get 2 grenades with real metal pins and some silver dry brushing on the raised edges. Plus his police badge. It does say Lieutenant, Detective, and it has his badge number. The detail on this piece is actually really good. There's a clip on the back so you can slide it on to wherever you want to. Totally up to you. Another smaller accessory that's more so just part of his outfit is his wristwatch. The screen is printed underneath this glossy dome section. Then for the body of the watch, it's done in silver, and there's some black dirt and grime on the surface. This is an absolutely microscopic accessory. You get 3 of these. They're little teeny tiny matches that you can wedge into the corner of his mouth if you want to. In the movie, he does do this, so it makes sense that they're here. And I'm glad you get 3. Like I said, these are microscopic. You've got spares if you lose one, is what I'm trying to say. You do get 2 different weapons with Cobra, the first of which is his 1911, and yes, it is a 1911, because Colt is printed on the side. You watch, someone will still tell me I'm wrong. The handle has a Cobra on both sides, there's this wood grain texture printed on the surface. You can slide the top section back so it looks like the gun, or the magazine I should say, is spent. And speaking of magazines, it is removable, and there's some painted bullet detail up on top. This is arguably the cooler of the 2 weapons. It's his submachine gun, and I'm fairly certain it was some kind of custom creation for the film. Now, you can actually field strip it. You can remove this top piece, remove the magazine, and then remove this piece down the bottom as well. So you can make it look like Cobra is working on his gun, cleaning the various bits and pieces like he does in the movie. And lastly, a full array of hands. Open palm hands, trigger finger hands, and closed fists. You get 1 of each, 1 for either side, if you will. There's this leather grain texture on the surface, there's some wrinkling and buckling so they look like fabric, and they're done in a nice black finish. What we are going to do now though, is get Cobra himself out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. Don't forget, this is only Sly Stallone Shop's 2nd figure, ever. The artists involved, okay, they have got solo careers, if you will. They have made great stuff individually. Bringing them together, this guy just feels really special. Cobra does not get a lot of love. I do love the film, even though it can be cheesy and campy at times. It is full of one-liners, after all. It's also fun and action-packed and full of heart. That's why I wanted a Cobra figure in 1/6 scale. Does that mean he wins by default just by existing? Hell no, that is not a thing. The figure stands on his own, literally and also metaphorically. The head sculpt is great, the proportions are awesome, I dig the body and the outfit. Oh, that tailoring is very, very sharp. Up close and personal, kicking things off with the head sculpt. Sly Stallone Shop, holy shit, y'all are just flexing at this point. This is a really solid head sculpt. And it needed to be, the outfit being relatively simple. This head sculpt, it needed to be the star of the show. Luckily, it is. I do have him with his glasses on and you can see his eyes through them. Having that be translucent plastic and small and not distort the look of the eyes, that is a challenge in 1/6 scale. A challenge that it turns out Sly Stallone Shop were not afraid of. The glasses, they look great. You can, however, remove them, and then the likeness, it intensifies. That is 100% a young Sly. The skin texture with the subtle complexion is great. We've got the 5 o'clock shadow looking suitably realistic. Then the expression with the furrowed brow tucked up underneath the fringe, which is a separate piece of plastic, by the way. It just makes him look intense and fierce, and also like he's seen some stuff, which, of course, Cobra would have. Do I like the head sculpt? No, I love it. The detail on the tailoring is also kind of crazy. I mean, it looks like a normal black jacket, right? It's just got some pockets and some rolled up sleeves. Pretty simple. But no, when you start to look closer, there are some real metal buckles. Then around the base of the jacket, it's wired, and so too are the cuffs. You can wrap these around the forearms and cinch them just a little bit tighter. You can also roll them down if you want to have his jacket just with the sleeves rolled all the way down. Totally an option. The pockets are real, you could potentially stuff some stuff in there. The collar is stitched down, so it's not going to get too crazy and fly away. You also have some epaulets up top, and around the back, that is some very sharp and clean stitching. Underneath the jacket, a black t-shirt, and the collar on the black t-shirt is also wired. You didn't need to go this hard, Sly Stallone Shop. I'm glad you did. There's some skin texture on the neck, some sculpted defined muscles, and we do have the little metal chain around his neck, which is totally removable. Just like the jacket is, if you don't want it on, you can remove it and just go with the black long sleeve shirt. Believe it or not, this is my favorite look for Cobra. I prefer the black long sleeve shirt. Why? Well, now you can see his proportions a lot better. Sly has a very specific body type, broader at the shoulders, narrow at the waist, yet still built. Obviously, dude is Rocky. And you can see the forearms, which have some stunning paintwork on the surface. You've got vein work, you've got skin texture, and you've got some sculpted musculature. In fact, Sly has a very funky muscle in his arm that not everybody has. They've sculpted that perfectly. This is accurate specifically to Sly. It's not just a generic random body. Then with the Y's at the top for the collar, you can spread this out and see even more of the sculpt work underneath. I do have his watch on as well. That is kind of flexible, you can move it around. There is one more outfit option, which is Cobra Ready for War. This guy, he is not messing around. He's got his pistol tucked in the top of his jeans, 2 grenades, one was clearly not enough. Got some extra ammo pouches on one side of the holster, and then you have his submachine gun on the other. I have tucked the police badge in the top of his pocket. These pockets, they're real. You can pop stuff in there, his hand or his police badge if you so choose. If you're thinking, hang on a second, why is his belt buckle all the way over there? That's actually accurate to the movie. That's exactly where it's supposed to be. The jeans look great, both in terms of the color and the fit. They're nice and tapered up the top, tight around his thighs, showing off his thigh muscles. Then down the bottom, a little bit more baggy. Think 70s cop show inspired. Not too baggy, just the right amount. Up top, my favorite detail is this section right here. Having these weathered away sections where the blue dye would have been faded as Cobra has been walking and kicking ass, doing actiony stuff. That's how real jeans wear. I'm really impressed with how that looks. On top of all of that, there's dirt and grime. It is subtle, yet I do think you can see it on camera along the edge, on the front, and on the inside as well. The stitching, being in yellow and being as sharp as it is, it contrasts well against the blue of the jeans. Underneath the jeans, oh, look at that. Those are some stylish looking boots, sir. It's got a heel around the back. They're made of this softer leather-like material, and there's a metal buckle. Being softer, they're super flexible, which is great for articulation. I did mention this in passing in the accessory segment. I thought I'd actually show you. The matchstick can be wedged into the corner of his mouth. Now, the mouth itself doesn't actually have a hole for it to slot into, thank goodness, because if there was one and you removed it, it would look terrible. It's just held there with friction, which means it's a little bit dangerous. If you do accidentally touch the matchstick or bump the figure, it may fall out. If you don't, it's in there pretty securely. For a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have both Sly Stallone Shop figures standing together. On the left, Cobra, and on the right, Rambo from First Blood. This is going to bother some people, in fact, some people more than others. Rambo is a little bit shorter than Cobra. For me, I don't actually think it's a huge deal. The height difference is so negligible that I can chalk it up to the way the hairstyle is done and the boots. They are both wearing boots, but Cobra's heel is a little bit more prominent. So that's how I can get around it. And as I said, it is such a small difference that I just don't think it's a huge issue. Going over articulation, kicking things off with the head sculpt, it's on a double ball peg. Looking forward to there, looking up to there, swivel and pivot side to side. The arms will go up to there, they will go forward and back, butterfly joint at the shoulder that hinges up and down. Have a single bend at the elbow that gets you to 90, and that incorporates the swivel. Then for the wrist peg, a hinge and swivel. The torso crunches forward and back at multiple different points, swivels and pivots. The legs will go forward to there, going out to there, swivel at the upper thigh, double bend at the knee going past 90, then lastly for the ankle, a double ball peg. Good for forward and back swivel and pivot side to side. Wrapping up on Sly Stallone Shop's second figure, Cobra. If you are a fan of the film and you're a fan of Sly, what the hell are you waiting for? Go ahead and get this before it's gone. I'm pretty sure there won't ever be any other 1/6 scale figures of Cobra. This is a one and done type of thing. It's also just solid. The body is great. It feels nice and heavy and weighty, very premium and high quality in your hands. The outfit is beautifully well tailored. There's wires everywhere. Then the accessories are super accurate to the movie, all the way down to being able to field strip his submachine gun. That is next level. The icing on the cake, the whole raison d'etre for this figure, that head sculpt. It looks exactly like Sly. It's one of the best Sylvester Stallone head sculpts I've ever seen in 1/6 scale. You don't have to take my word for it though, and you might even be sitting there thinking, hang on a second, Justin. Sly picked you to review this figure, of course you're going to say nice things. Sly, I love you man, I do, but if this figure was bad, I would have had to tell the audience. It's just me being honest in my videos. It's the way I like to do things. Plus, you don't even have to listen to me. You can mute this and you can see the head sculpt yourself. With all of that being said, at the end of this, can I recommend him? Am I walking away satisfied? Oh yes, I absolutely am. I cannot wait to put this guy in the display. Now, I got mine direct from Sly Stallone Shop. I have popped the link to their site in the description below. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.